Hallelujah, hallelujah. This is Evangelist Paul Amadu Kargbo once more again. And yesterday we tried to talk about a particular theme, a topic, oh Lord, deal with the root of my foundation. But before God will deal with the root of your foundation, there is duty for you as an individual for you to do before God will deal with your foundation. We have 5 duty you need to do. And these 5 duty I will highlight maybe 1 or 2 by the grace of God because of time. Now, number 1, if you want God to deal with the root of your foundation, number 1, you need to have burden. A burden trigger the presence of God to deal with your foundation, because whenever God calls you to deal with the root of your foundation, He's not doing it because of only you, but He's doing it because He wants others to save, others that has been under bondage. He wants you just to be a leader, or He wants you just to be an example so that He can charge you, He can enter you so that others will be blessed. Yes, others will be blessed. If you study the book of Nehemiah chapter 1 verse 2, you will discover that someone came from the line or from the place of Nehemiah, and he was explaining how the wall of Jerusalem has fallen, how the tribulation, the trials, the Israelites are undergoing through. And Nehemiah was not in that particular region. He was working for a governor, we can call it like this, or a king. And Nehemiah was having the burden. Oh God, how can this happen? How can this happen? And Nehemiah carried the burden upon him, and he prayed and fast, and God intervened. Now, if you study to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verse 18, and Moses went to the mountain and fasted. He said, I prostrate myself. And he fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. There was no water, no food. He was begging behalf of the Israelites. And because of that one, it triggered the love of God. It triggered the presence of God. And God delivered a nation. So whenever you are asking God to deal with your roots or your foundation, if you are having entitlement, a mentality of only you, God cannot involve. Because God don't want to involve in a place that where He cannot able to have nobody. But God involved in a place whereby you are ready to deliver others. That's why even Jesus Christ, when He come, why till the world today? Because Jesus Christ carried the burden of people. He carried the body of the people. He carried the body of the people. So you see, so whenever you want to ask God to do something, you need to carry the burden of people before God does something for you. Carry the burden of people. He said, I'm looking for a man that will stand in the gap of others. So when you stand in the gap of others, you open portal of heaven to intervene in your condition. What is your intent for you to get money? What is your intent for you to become rich? What is your intent for you to become pastor? It's for you to carry the burden of people. When you are always entitled of only you, it makes God not to move in your prayer. So that's number 1. If you want God to deal with the root of your foundation, that is number 1. You need to be what? In that aspect. And number 2, if you want God to deal with the root of your foundation, you need to be in the spirit. See, no matter who you are, you need to be in the spirit. Because people who are in the spirit, these are people that God always talk to. You cannot be in the flesh, God talk to you. Imagine even Jesus as a God. He fasted 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness. So who are you? Before God will hand over a nation, before He will hand over a certain thing to you, you need to be in the place of fasting and prayer in the spirit. Because even Nehemiah, when he was having the burden, what made the burden God to see that this person have carried the body? He go and cry in prayer and fasting. He was working for the king, but he was praying and fasting. In the midst of prayer and fasting, he was asking God for solution towards the battle. So in that midst of praying and fasting, that is the place where God will talk to you. That is the place where God Himself will show you what to do. So many of us today want God to deal with our battle, but we don't want to show up in the place of prayer and fasting. And it can never trigger the presence of God. No matter how you do these 2 items, you need to apply it. You need to apply it, because when you apply it, you open heaven. So God cannot talk to flesh. God talk to spirit, because He's a spirit. It's a time will come. It's a people will worship God in truth and in spirit. So it means that you need to be in the spirit for you to understand the dimension of God. Esther 4 verse 6 downwards. Esther 4 verse 16. And we see how Esther declare a days of fasting so that they will have a solution towards their battle. Esther declare a fasting, a solution towards their battle. So whenever you want God to deal with the root of your foundation, you need to engage in warfare, which is prayer